Did you recently file a hail claim on your property? Did your insurance company come back with a payout that's lower than your contractor's price? Or did they simply deny the claim outright? If so, this video is for you. Here's what's actually going on and how to fix it. Let's start with a denial. If a claim gets denied, the first question to ask is whether it should have been filed in the first place. Oftentimes, after hailstorms, homeowners are instructed or consulted to file from a contractor who either A, doesn't have the qualifications to assess hail damage, or B, they're crossing their fingers that your insurance company pays for a roof when they probably shouldn't. Now, if the damage is real and you have it documented and you can see that, your contractor has provided thorough documentation of the damage and you can see there is definitely damage to my roof, you can ask for a reinspection. And that usually puts things back where they need to be. Remember, adjusters are people. Sometimes a less experienced one is on the file. Sometimes the documentation just didn't make it in front of them clearly enough. Things happen. We don't believe insurance companies are out to rip everyone off. Mistakes happen, and a reinspect with proper documentation from a contractor almost always sorts this out. The decision to push back and ask for a reinspection is yours. By this point, you should have thorough documentation from a contractor in front of you so you can see whether or not it's worth pushing for a reinspection. Now, if your insurance company's number comes back lower than your contractor's price, in our experience, it's almost always a scope of work issue. Your insurance company is likely missing items in their scope of work or their estimate. Things that legitimately need to happen to replace the roof correctly weren't included in their scope of work. The fix is usually just more documentation from your contractor, or your contractor walking your insurance company through what actually goes into a roof replacement. Photos of items that weren't accounted for, explanations of code requirements, manufacturer specifications that didn't make it into the insurance company's estimate. Once that information is in front of the adjuster or the insurance company, the number tends to come up to match your contractor's or even sometimes beyond it. If the contractor's price is fair, with no fluff items padding the estimate, and the adjuster's scope is correct, the insurance company's number usually meets or exceeds the contractor's. That's our experience over and over and over. What's a fluff item? It's something a contractor adds to the bid that isn't really needed. Extra work that wasn't part of the original roof or isn't required by code upgrade, upgrades that weren't called for, items that overlap other items, things that look legitimate on paper but aren't actually part of replacing the roof correctly. That's also why a lot of contractors won't show you their price up front. They don't want you comparing it line by line. A real roofer's estimate has only what's needed, priced for what the work actually costs in your market, and that kind of estimate holds up under an insurance company's review. One last thing worth noting. You're the policyholder. There are some questions only you can ask your carrier. A contractor can give you the information and the explanation and help guide you through the process, but you have to make the calls at the end of the day. Questions like, is this included in my policy? Show me where it's not included in my policy. We as contractors legally can't ask questions like that. You can. A good contractor keeps you in the loop the whole way through so you can easily see where the friction is, if there is any. That way you can decide whether the issue is on your contractor side or your insurance company's side, and either is possible. You should be able to tell if your contractor is keeping you in the loop and is completely transparent through the process. In our experience, a pricing dispute is rarely as hard to overcome as homeowners fear. The first estimate from your carrier, or your insurance company, usually comes back a little under your contractor's number, sometimes a lot under your contractor's number. But a little bit more documentation on the items they missed typically lifts it to match your contractor's or beyond. The roof then gets installed, and it's usually that simple. When your contractor is fair on pricing, keeps you in the loop, this part of the process tends to take care of itself. So if you're navigating an insurance claim and your insurance company has denied the claim, or it looks like they're underpaying the claim, we wrote an entire guide for homeowners on our website in our Learning Center, and we'll drop that link below as well. Hopefully this helps you understand the options that you have and how to move forward.